it's really important to change our minds when we're thinking about how to show up differently around racial justice. It's really important to change the laws and the systems that perpetuate racialized violence. It's also really important to change our bodies and our nervous systems, because if we don't do that, I can guarantee that we will run out of energy for those first two things. So some of my work when I'm not here is helping out, or maybe that's the wrong verb, but with a group called Showing Up for Racial Justice in the Twin Cities. It's a group particularly for white folks to do anti-racism work within their own selves and communities and show up in meaningful ways, supporting organizers of color and organizations of color. So if you haven't checked out Surge, S-U-R-J, Surge Twin Cities is incredible. One of the things I do with Surge is lead these embodied learning circles. It's, kind of a long commitment, but it's a way that we really invest somatically in changing our patterns and looking at our patterns. So the work that we're doing today is a body practice borrowed from those things. If you are interested, there is a lot in the book, My Grandmother's Hands. And this practice isn't specifically from that book, but from some of Resma's work and other, there are a million paths to healing. So we're going to do some embodied work today. So I encourage you, if you're more comfortable, we're not doing any like macro movements, like there's no need to be self-conscious about the way that your body is moving. We're going to be fairly stationary. But if you would be more comfortable with your video off, totally understand. If you'd be more comfortable laying on the floor, if you want to grab a blanket, if you want to relocate, like get comfy, because we're going to be still and really focusing on our bodies for a while. And I know that let's start out comfortable, because we're going to try to get a little uncomfortable, frankly. So does that make sense? I know that this is like generally like a one-way time, but I'm going to like open the door for a second. We will have a chance to process afterwards, but does anyone have questions going into this about like, what are we doing? Why does this matter? No? All right. So I'm going to close my eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to be participating in the practice as I'm leading this. So, and I am going to try to figure out how to keep an eye on time, because this can get away from me. So, all right. All you have to do is close your eyes. Let your limbs fall wherever they are. Feel the weight of your own body sinking into whatever is supporting you. And if it's possible, resist fidgeting. Just allow your body to be really still. And you might notice things that you want to fix or change. Maybe a shirt is kind of tugged the wrong way, or your hands are in an awkward position. But already we're learning to sit with discomfort and not jump in right away. Already we're building capacity to sit with difficulty. And in that stillness, notice what you're noticing. Pay attention to what you pay attention to. And as much as possible, keep bringing the attention back to the body. completely natural for the mind to wander off. But I can also tell you that the mind cannot exist without the body. And in this stillness, see if you can hear or feel the thrum of your own heartbeat. Maybe just the one big beat, or maybe both. And if you can't feel it or hear it, that's okay. Be patient, be persistent, be positive. The more we listen, the better we are at listening. Maybe you can feel the blood whooshing through your veins, in the print of your thumb, where your arms or legs may be bent. Getting still enough to hear that which is always happening, that steadiness at our center. And steady as the heart may be, the heart is not a metronome. As you find yourself relaxing, or maybe your mind is racing, what is this? I don't like this. Why are we doing this? The heartbeat may change, slow down or speed up. So just like a friend, we keep listening instead of deciding we already know who they are. So we have a still body, and we have a beating heart. And if you really can't feel that heartbeat and it's driving you a little mad, you can move so that your fingertips are on your wrist or on your neck to experience the heartbeat in another way. And we'll offer this image for the stillness of the body rather than feeling frozen or encased. I like to think about this stillness like water, a lake early in the morning, unruffled by the breeze, or me jumping in and swimming. And so, yes, there may be a little flutter of movement as you find your pulse, but then those ripples disperse and you find your stillness again. The stillness is dynamic and responsive. So we found our stillness and we found our heartbeat. And now we begin to match merry breath and heartbeat, taking an even number of beats for the inhale and the exhale. Let the breath be generous, but not strained. I'm not telling you how many beats because your lungs and heart are different than mine. And if this feels difficult or weird, stay soft, stay curious, play along, act as if, right? Remember, the heartbeat is not a metronome. So as the breath changes, as you breathe, stay with the breath, stay with the heartbeat. Come back to our stillness, come back to our heartbeat, come back to our breath. From here, we just slide an extra beat or two of the heart onto the exhale breath. Lengthening the exhale. Again, not forcing or stretching, just softening, melting that exhale a little longer. Find what feels good here. Find what feels nourishing. These longer exhales send messages to our brain that we are safe. And our brain, in relief, moves into our parasympathetic nervous system. All the kinds of chemicals that help us heal and repair, rest and digest. You can continue with that heartbeat and breath practice. You can come back to it at any time. It's a wonderful tool when you're stuck in traffic or the long line at the grocery store or a meeting you are getting frustrated by. So if it helps you to keep that or come back to that through this next movement, know that that is a tool there for you. I should also add, long exhales are wonderful. And the most we would want is a 2-to-1 ratio, so that the exhale is twice as long as the inhale. If it's less than that, totally okay. We don't want to go much more than that. So we have our stillness, we have our steadiness, of the heartbeat. We have the spaciousness of the breath. And I'm going to invite you into a scan of the body, starting really simply, noticing where your weight is being supported. What parts of your body are touching a supportive structure or surface, where you're being held and met. What parts of your body are sort of free in space. Where is your body touching itself? My hands are clasped around one another. My arms are resting on my legs. My tongue is resting on the floor of my mouth. My legs are crossed. What parts of your body are touching clothing? And what parts are touching the air directly? And begin to just take a walk around the sensations of your body. If possible, avoid labeling them good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. But just notice, something there. Something there. And some practices have you do this in a really linear way, head to toe or toe to top. If that helps you, use that. I like to roam a little bit more. And pay attention to the places that aren't asking for attention, the places that are quiet. We're just getting to know the body right now. So after this survey, in a moment, but not yet, so please don't move yet, I'm going to ask you to place a hand on your body in a place that could use some healing attention. So before you move, use that inventory, that map you just made, and trust your instinct of where the hand wants to go. And just make a plan first. You'll use your left hand if possible. So just think about what you're going to do before you do it. Be sure. And then really effortlessly allow your hand to float to that place. And it's okay to make a couple of adjustments to be comfortable there. And then settle in once again, letting those ripples disperse. Using your hand and your attention. Using your breath, using your heartbeat. Not trying to fix that place, but just being there. Just being with that sensation. much like we'd wrap an arm around a grieving friend. We know that we can sit with difficulty. We learn that we have the power to offer care to ourselves. We build our capacity. And the right hand, please don't move yet. But using that same map of the body, find a place just with your mind, with your body. Find a place that feels good. I know we said not to label, but find a place that has something to give. Maybe it's joy or steadiness, ease, spaciousness. Find a place on your body that has something to offer. It might be one of those quiet places. So do a search, make a plan, think about it before you move. Trust your instincts. And then without any thinking, because you've already done all the thinking, the right hand just floats to that place. Maybe you need to move your body to get your hand available to that place. And if the right and left-handedness doesn't work, that's okay. You can switch. Or you can always use your mind to put your hand there, and your hand will be there, and that's okay. And feel what the body is offering to the right hand. The intelligence, the creativity, the sweetness, that is within us as well. And if this is ever too much, stillness is enough. Listening to the heartbeat is enough. Our last movement is a bridge between these two, using what the right hand is receiving, cycling that through the right arm, passing through the heart, that rich heart space, nourishing the heart with what we're receiving, and bringing that through the left arm, out through our left hand, offering that back to ourselves. And maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe the wisdom underneath the right hand begins to just radiate through the whole body. I don't know. But see if you can bring those two places together through your own touch, using your own wisdom to heal your own self. Bring healing. And knowing that we can come back to this anytime. just gently let your hands roll off like drops of water down a window pane. Coming back to our breath. And noticing what feels different in the body. I invite you with your breath to just bring soft movement back into the body. Everyone's eyes are closed, so it's okay to roam around a little bit here. Letting your body take the lead of what it's like to move again. Be in motion again. I'm opening my eyes, and you can do so when you feel ready or not. Stay here the whole time. We have probably 7 or 8 minutes for a chance to share together. So I'd love to hear what you felt. Talk to me about, talk to us, share with us if you're able or interested. About what that was like. Resisting as much as possible the mental realm processing of it, and staying really close to the body if you can, would be my request.